today, guys. Today we're going to react to the last family in Roblox. Roblox scary story, and actually it's sad. So yeah, I put in my sad animation playlist. So yeah, let's go.
2666 broke out at the SCP Fund, and Echo Zero, the most dangerous monster on the planet. All the Roblox citizens were killed in a matter of days, and only those who realized that those monsters were blind survived. They knew they had to keep and act silently in order not to get killed. Day 46 of the apocalypse.
Bully story.
My family also survived. We came to the store in search of supplies. My father wanted to move outside the city to some safer place. My younger brother Ethan found a toy airplane. My dad saw that and quickly grabbed the toy to take the batteries out of it to prevent Ethan from turning the toy on. Ethan got upset and started crying silently. Dad gestured everyone to pack and leave. My older sister Alina felt sorry for Ethan. She quietly put the batteries into the airplane and gave it to him, and we departed.
Because he can't hear. So yeah, so he can hear.
It was very quiet and calm in the forest. We walked.
Why is there freaking stupid ads right now?
Steadily, feeling safe. Suddenly, we heard the toy sound. It was Ethan. He turned the toy airplane on. Dad rushed to him, but didn't make it on time. Echo Zero appeared from behind the trees and stole Ethan. We all wanted to cry, but we had to keep our mouths shut. Otherwise, they would hear us. Day 208. We settled at an abandoned farm. Dad equipped every corner with video surveillance and the light alarm system. My mom was on the 9th month, and we were waiting for a new addition to our family. We ran out of food, and someone had to go to the river to pick up the fish from the traps. Dad asked me to go with him. Alina also wanted to come, but he still hasn't forgiven her for our brother's death, so he refused to take her. She couldn't hold it together and left the room, while the two of us went to the river. The river was several miles away from the shelter. My father started collecting the catch and accidentally dropped one fish on the ground, making a sound. I freaked out and wanted to hide, but my father told me it was safe because the river stream was louder than all the other sounds. With our backpacks full of fish, we headed back. On our way, Dad brought us to the waterfall and began to scream. Because of the water's loud noise, we couldn't hear his voice, and excited, I started repeating after him. We screamed for some time and went further. As we were passing by someone's house, we stumbled upon a granny. She's just been killed. She must have been too loud, and Echo Zero heard her. A grieving old man stood right by the granny. Dad realized that he wanted to scream and started gesturing, asking him not to. But the old man didn't listen and shouted. We began to run. The monster appeared and jumped at the old man. We hid behind a tree, and I was about to scream, but Dad wasn't my mom. Meanwhile, my mom was doing the housework. She did laundry in the basement and had it outside in order to hang it dry. The laundry bag clung to the sticking nail at the staircase. She began to pull it, and the nail stuck out of the wood even more. But she didn't notice that and left peacefully. Alina was having a tough time. She had a bad hearing and had to
I want to look like Ariana Grande. See my reference? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Purple? Ariana's What? No, I just wanted highlights. This is like tie-dye hair. Okay, yeah, wash it out. Wash it. Water, water. Oh my god. It's still tie-dye. Are you kidding me?
to wear a hearing aid. She
Yes,
also
that's
felt
right.
guilty for her brother's death. She remembered those moments before the monster's attack. As we sat together around the dinner table, we played the game named Gertrude, made by the cool dad. In this game, you have to escape from the asylum, saving yourself from a creepy girl from the mirror, while Chupa Gaga waits for you in the attic. I'll leave the link to this game in the description under the video. Alina couldn't find a place for herself and, unable to withstand, decided to escape from her parents. She packed her things and left.
I left.
There was a cross with family pictures at the site of Ethan's death, and under it laid his toys. Alina took that exact toy airplane. She hugged it, laid down to the ground, and fell asleep. Mom was also grieving in her room. She took the photo of her dad's son and panicked and acted for us. Me and Dad were close by and saw that alarm signal instantly. Dad told me to run to the lighthouse to ignite the firework, and he rushed to the house. My mom set the alarm, put it to the other end of the basement, and hid behind the tanks. The alarm rang and got the monster's attention. Echo Zero entered the basement and began to crush the clock. Mom quietly ran behind his back and wanted to escape the house, but there was another monster on the street, and she hid in the bathroom. It began to explode. The monster got distracted and rushed towards that noise. Alina woke up because of that noise and saw the fireworks. She realized that something happened to us and ran home. Dad entered the house. There were no monsters inside. He heard a child crying and went inside the bathroom. We need to hide him, and quick, until the monsters come back here. He took Mom and the baby to the basement. He gave her a rifle and left to search for me and Alina. I was running back from the lighthouse and accidentally bumped into Alina.
Wait a second! I recognize this game somewhere. Wait, what's going on? Wait. Yo, what the heck? We actually played the caveman! Never mind, I do not recognize this game. I've never played this game in my life. Yo! Hold on! What the heck is going on? We let him beating this man with a love caveman!
Freaking dude.
Alina. I hugged her, trembling in fear. Suddenly, the monster appeared from behind the bush and wanted to jump at us, but some noise came from Alina's head. Her ears began to hurt. She fell down. I tried to help her. The monster felt very well. He grabbed his hand and ran away. We didn't understand why that happened. Alina turned the hearing aid off and we went further. On the way back to the shelter, we met our father, and all three of us hugged. Suddenly, we heard the monster's noise, but couldn't understand where it was coming from. Our dad told us to get in the nearest car, while he picked up an axe and went to look for the monster. But the monster outsmarted
No!
him. He jumped from behind us and tore my father to shreds. Alina screamed in panic, and the monster began to approach me. I stopped the car, and we rode to the park. We rushed to the basement and closed the door, but the monster crashed it easily and entered the basement. We were quiet, but the monster could hear our heartbeat and wanted to attack. Alina remembered the moment when that weird noise sounded from the hearing aid. She turned it on and began to scream, the loud noise in her head. The monster fell down in spasms and passed out. We thought he died, but suddenly he got up and jumped the shotgun and cleaved the monster's head. All the other monsters in the area heard the shots and headed to our farm, but we realized what we needed to do. Alina took the microphone while I plugged the huge speakers. We were ready to fight. That was the scariest night of my life. Echo Zero surrounded us from all sides and were about to attack. Alina took out the hearing aid and brought it close to the mic. She turned it on. Loud noise went off the speakers and spun all the monsters, and they fell down to the ground. Mom began to shoot them in the head with the shotgun, and I killed them with my shovel. We killed all of them in 1 hour. Suddenly, the baby started crying, and we all got scared that the monsters would attack again. But surprisingly, no one came. Could it be that none of them survived in the whole region? We were incredibly happy because of that and continued our quiet existence, hoping for the better future. I buried my dad and took his responsibilities on me. I went fishing, repaired the farm, and watched over the safety. Alina's and Mom's responsibilities included the housework and babysitting. By the way, we named the boy Jorik. Sadly, this peaceful life didn't last long. On one unfortunate day, Alina forgot her hearing aid on the sofa. Jorik wanted to play with it and accidentally broke it. On the same day, we ran out of gas for the generator, and we were left with no electricity. Later, I went to catch some fish, but my attempt was unsuccessful. The stream brought the chemical tanks, and the river became polluted. All of the fish died. On the way back, I saw an Echo Zero creeping around the fence and realized we were in danger. Our farm ran out of the food supply, and we decided to search for a new shelter for our family. Mom taped Jorik's mouth, and we departed. We walked for a long time, and it got late, and we had to sleep right in the forest. I made a bonfire right inside the tent, and we finished our last can of meat. Loud shouting woke me up in the morning. I quietly sneaked closer and saw an Echo Zero. It wanted to kill a helpless girl. I hastily realized what I needed to do, so I pushed a huge stone right on the head of the monster. The girl was saved. I brought her to our camp and introduced to our family. Her name was Valerishka. She invited us to her shelter, and we departed. Her mother met us in front of the house. She warmly thanked me for rescuing her daughter, and for that she gave me the named Golden Gun. It belonged to her husband. Quietly she took out their family album and showed it to us. It was clear that Valerishka's father was a former militarist and served in the elite unit during the Chechen War. Kadyrov himself gave him this gun. I was super excited about my new toy and already wanted to shoot a couple of these monsters. But where is your husband right now? I gestured, asking the woman. Natalie got upset. On a little piece of paper, she drew that he died, saving a little boy who was almost eaten by the monster. My mom got nervous. She asked the woman to show that boy to her. He was sitting on the bed in the neighboring room. It was Ethan. We ran to him and hugged with tears in our eyes. Natalie kindly offered us to stay with them at this shelter. She escorted us to the place to show the fallen helicopters. It was stuffed with food, grain, and medical supplies. It was enough for several years, and of course, we agreed to the offer. Closer to the evening, Natalie and Valerishka set out the celebratory table. We ate some really delicious food, settled in our own rooms, and went to sleep right after that.